water flowing to the Rio. They didn't enter. These figures, they look like those creatures, but they're graceful. Yashil, goddesses of protection. The silver box of Ishal was forged in paradise and brought to Earth. Did those creatures make the box? Neither false gods nor zealots shall be allowed to pass. They're protecting it. Is that why they fought me so viciously? Here they keep the box until the sun's renewal. Here. It has to be here. An eclipse and a heron, like the tattoos on Unaratu's arm. Where's the box? No, a full shock. Finally, I made it. I don't have enough space for that. I can use these to climb out of here. I'll have to jump. There's no other way. To jump. There's no other way. whatever those things are, doesn't really matter while they're chasing you. Who left those carvings of the heron in the eclipse? I have to talk to Unuratu about them. I don't have enough space for that.
Katupultik tulakal bashkananti, lekustala kahum pelkin hach sasil, tenek.
I'm here.
We're not at Unuratu's. We're in a cave nearby. The entrance is marked with a heron and an eclipse.
On my way.
Maybe they could provide support. Do you have it?
It was a trap. The box was taken and Unuratu was captured.
We heard. We're working on a plan.
She's being held at the prison by the old temple. Hakan led a raid, and was taken too.
We'll charge the bridge that leads to the prison.
It's aggressive. What if I climb up here, free her, and then signal to attack?
That could work. Let's leave scouting the temple in the upper district. In could find you a way in.
I'll go talk to him.
We'll have backup ready once you get her out.
Sounds good.
For strength and safety.
Thank you.
Laura,
I'll get her out.
I know.
Have more rebels been captured?
Ishik, masani kubeita lingwantag. Tintustak hotul mag te aluyokol, utsonop kilich kunesahil kukulkan, yale batel tambalilo, balema beichaki. Tugel kinove, tengel injolpesikop kachile. Vale, belama tu beita limbatel, mish alkab kin beita limbetik, kulekel insene kin tubik kik, vale la ilimalov aksol nukene, wabei kachil takbela. Chukin wet bisak bailov, kakachop ticheop, uchil tulaka lekajo, tialupexaj olo, tekun patelop taken kimikobi.
You said I might be able to help.
Haj, jete lubukesaj, beish kananti lekano, helu hal kaptikobe bello, mishmak kuntukultik techbetej.
4. You said there were 5 men on the mission.
Haj, kolki holpesikop kachil, balemachuk helbish ulakobo. Mishmaka ilej, min más shane que me sabi.
I'll see what I can do. I should have done something. Now Unuratu is captured. I should have done...
Ishikun con lebejo, isha unurato matusha.
To find the hidden city, go south along the shore until you find the pink fish. Then chase the heart of the serpent to the Silver Crown Mountain where the twins confer. This is the star Alphard, the solitary one, the brightest star. In the Maya long count calendar, all dates have 5 numbers. This dagger is the key of Shakshel. I found an inscription near it. This is the path to the hidden city. It seems to describe a series of trials, entering through a... This is a serpent-shaped statuette I found in an ancient Maya tomb in the lost city of Paititi. It's yet another clue in my search for the silver box of Ishel. There appears to be some irregular edges, like a key. But a key to what? November 1603. I accompanied Andreas Lopez, a group of 12 soldiers and 2 Molosses through the jungle. The directions the Jesuits provided to Trinity were excellent, so we discovered the hidden city with little difficulty. The natives of the city welcomed us warily, but we plied them with gifts, and they reluctantly allowed us to enter the city, unaware of our true intentions. Lopez has begun to search for the artifact while we distract the city's leaders. 29th of November, 1603. After dinner, Lopez left the city. I followed, worried he might not return. I found him standing by the riverbank, lips moving as though in prayer. Not wishing to disturb him, I waited. His communion with God must have lasted through the night, and I regret to admit I fell asleep, for the next thing I knew, Lopez stood smiling serenely over me, the morning sun behind him, creating a halo. He helped me to my feet and clasped me in a strong embrace. "Truilos, I know where to find the artifact," he whispered in my ear. 26th of November, 1603. At dinner, Lopez asked me if I believed these heathens were worthy of the artifact's alleged power. I had to admit that the Paititians seemed noble and industrious. However, their taut skin, stretched tight over sinewy muscles, and lack of shame made them more similar to beasts. "And what of our leaders in the society?" he then asked. "Should they be able to wave their perfumed and ring fingers in any direction and expect us to obey, to return and sit at their side when they beckon? Do they not treat us as inferior beings, as beasts as well?" I had no answer. What he'd said was heresy and treason, but in some way, I wondered if it wasn't the truth. This rosary has 6 decades instead of the usual 5. A very ornate example of the Brigantine version. There appears to be an engraving. Andreas Lopez. "30th of November, 1603. With a local man as a guide, Lopez, the soldiers, and I set out from the city before first light. Just as well, as a terrible flu began to spread through the population. Lopez is convinced his artifact does not lie in the city itself, but somewhere just outside. I asked if it was not somewhat hypocritical to enlist the help of those loathsome people. "Do not loathe them," he said, "any more than you would these Molosses. They are all creations of the Lord our God, as are we." I told him I was stunned to hear him speak in this fashion, but he took my hands and we prayed. The energy of his faith ran from him to me, until I felt the chains of doubt fall from my heart. Trinity is an ancient and secretive organization ruled by an Illuminati-like High Council that has existed since the time before Christ. They are determined to find and exploit all of the ancient artifacts of the world. Dr. Pedro Dominguez is an archaeologist and expert in pre-colonial Maya history. My father mentioned him in his notes more than once. That's the lead Jonah and I were following up on when we came to Cozumel. His excavation in Cozumel was one of the last places my father visited before he was killed. If there is a connection, I want to find out what it is. I thought that Dr. Dominguez was only the leader of the local Trinity cell. Ishel and Shakshal are two faces of the same goddess. Ishel is the young woman and represents life and healing. She's associated with the full moon. Shakshal is the old woman and represents death. She is associated with the new moon. Together as the twins, symbols of duality in the cycle of life and death. Trinity's influence is even wider than I thought. They have controlled Paititi for centuries, where they are known as the cult of Kukulkan. Their highest-ranking members in Paititi are called the Serpent Guards. They are picked at a young age from among the best warriors in Paititi and fight alongside the Jaguar warriors and the Eagle Archers. Unuratu is the rightful queen of Paititi. After a famine that nearly... Dr. Dominguez is originally from Paititi. Trinity has had a presence in Paititi since the 1600s. The former leader of the High Council, Gualtiero de Luca Dominguez, Jonah is a survivor and a good friend. I met him several years ago on my first expedition on board the Endurance. He made me laugh the first time I spoke to him, calling me Little Bird. We've been through so much since then, and after I lost touch with my best friend Sam, a rubbing taken from the walls of the cenote. It is simply a large X and the word run. Undated. Strange warriors pursued us through the caverns. We moved quickly, too quickly for an accurate description. Most of the soldiers fell in battle. They were valiant but outmatched and outnumbered. Eventually, Lopez, I, and a single surviving 1st of December, 1603. We've entered a cenote not far from the city and set up camp in a small alcove. Lopez has spent the evening staring into the flames, utterly ensorcelled, his dinner untouched. Twice I attempted a conversation, but his silence rebuffed me each time. This is a traditional foot plough, still used in the Andes today, even outside Paititi. The canopa serves as a receptacle for offerings of cocoa and animal tallow. The stuffed canopa is thrown into the farmer's field at the start of the harvest. The Inca used a combination of freeze-drying and salt to preserve just about anything edible. Charqui and chunos are basically meat. These ceremonial ceramic jars are used to store corn beer or chicha. The bottom of these arpu are usually pointed. The people of the Andes have been perfecting the art of weaving for thousands of years. This chuspas is a wonderful example, woven of llama or alpaca hair and traditionally used to carry cocoa leaves. It clearly highlights the weaver's skill. This is a little bit unusual. A dragon. This must be... There's no mistaking that bright... This depicts the Incan god Con. The monogram reads PHF. That has to stand for Percival Harrison Fawcett. In the early 19th century, this was used to measure the angle between an astronaut. Do not hide good food. I've been doing some research and I think we might. As it was foretold, heralded by the... After the long dry season, when the rains finally fell, Cusco belongs to Hernando Pizarro, rightful representative of the Spanish crown. Each Taka of the cult of Kukulkan vows to tie his coat to that. A ceremonial whistle used during human sacrifices. The sound emitted from the skull-shaped instrument has been compared to the tormented screams of the dying and the dead. Patoli is said to be one of the oldest games in America, played by all walks of life. Mesoamerican people used this stone as a tool for processing grain and seeds. This is a promotional model of an oil derrick made out of cheap plastic and copper. Miss Ortiz, thank you for your recent inquiry. The remains of the peasant savior have been...
Tal hueyanca tentin huetelobe. Cabellakin